Hello, it's Nikita from Slotegrator. Today I'm going to tell you about laws and regulations when it comes to online sports betting. If you haven't watched our previous videos on regulations and compliance in the iGaming industry, I highly recommend to do it before jumping into this one. It will help you understand what laws generally apply to our industry. In today's video we're going to discuss online sportsbook specifically with a focus on key markets. Let's start. Sportsbook operation is one of the most lucrative avenues in the online gambling industry. The global betting market was worth $85 billion in 2019, and despite taking a hit due to the crisis, it still presents numerous opportunities for investment and growth. The legal issues involved are very complex, especially when it comes to operating internationally. Different countries have different definitions of gambling and betting, and different levels of tolerance for operators offering services unspecified in the law, and different policies on taxation and licensing. The nature and extent of allowed activities also varies, with some countries permitting only specific types of bets to be made, or only allowing betting on particular sports or events. In some countries, online offerings are tied to the land-based license, and in others they are regulated separately or not at all. Anyway, the biggest markets are the UK, the US, and Australia, and today I will focus primarily on them. In the United Kingdom, sports betting is regulated and operators are required to have a local license. Most bets are made on football, horse racing, or dog racing. The market is extremely active, with surveys showing that more than 50% of bettors place bets on a weekly basis. According to the United Kingdom Gambling Commission, total gross gaming yield for remote betting exceeded £2 billion in 2019. UK is already a heavily regulated market, but there are talks of further restricting marketing for iGaming operators and possibly even implementing a complete ban on advertising. In Australia, online casino games are banned, but both land-based and online sports betting is allowed and regulated on the state level. Each state has its own licensing authority. Australia is among the world's most lucrative markets, and the country has one of the highest rates of gambling participation in the world. Sports betting expenditure in the country reached $1.2 billion in 2019, that's an increase of 16% over the previous year, and has grown even more since the start of the crisis. In the USA, gambling is restricted and is subject to numerous laws and regulations at the state and federal level. Legally speaking, the regulatory landscape is a patchwork of areas with different degrees of regulation. Only in 2 states, that being Utah and Hawaii, are all forms of gambling completely banned. The others permit various forms of gambling to a different extent, with a growing number allowing sports betting specifically. In May 2018, the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, that was a federal ban on sports betting, was ruled unconstitutional and struck down by the US Supreme Court. The decision to legalize sports betting is now up to individual states. Most of them still prohibit the practice, but the current trend is towards liberalization, with Virginia and Colorado being the latest states to legalize sports betting. But while more and more states are choosing to regulate, operators should be on the lookout for the details. Certain states legalize betting in a very limited form. For example, Mississippi and North Carolina won't allow mobile betting, while Tennessee will only permit bets made online. Experts are carefully watching the US market because of the partisan nature of American politics. That means that things can change drastically after the 2020 elections. 2 years ago, a bill calling for federal regulation of sports betting didn't pass, but a similar situation may unfold differently if the balance of power in the US Congress shifts. That's all for today. If you want to know more details about European, Asian, Latin American or African sports betting market, make sure to check our article. The link is in the description below. If you have a legal question that goes beyond what is mentioned in the article, you can request a free consultation with the Slotegrator legal team. We'll be happy to help you with your gambling project, both online and offline. Thank you for watching this video. I'm looking forward to seeing your likes and comments. Stay safe. Bye.